Hey, we have returned with more Gamebound, playing some more Fiasco. All right, let's jump into some scenes, shall we? Alyssa, it's your go. Would you like to establish or resolve?
I would like to establish. So
Sound good?
I would like to establish me going and getting the love potion first before I have come to meet you. So I haven't
Okay.
met you yet. And I'm going to meet Cafior.
Mhm.
And I think my mother is with me. My mother is also the one that like set up this arranged marriage, like
Okay,
with your
so
mother,
the two mothers got together. Yeah.
right? And
Are you
so
from a foreign country or our country?
that's a good question. I'm a princess, so I would assume, like, or you've
Yeah, that's true.
established me as a princess, so I would assume I have to be from a
We
foreign
can
country.
change that if you want to.
I
I
don't
mean,
know, because like, if I'm foreign, then that would make sense with Jordan's character because he's. Are you foreign too, or no? Seth's character is the one that's
I'm foreign.
I would assume not because if I'm a noble, I probably have met you from like this country, right? Whereas if I'm from another country,
Right, that makes sense.
that makes
Well,
more
just
sense to
the
me.
thing is just that you're betrothed, not necessarily that you're a noble. Well, yeah, you'd have to be a noble. I guess that's true.
I'd have to at least be a high noble.
Yeah, what Alyssa is saying is it makes more sense for her to be from a different country because
I
then we
agree.
have never met. Yeah.
I agree.
So I think what's happened is that my mother, like I'm going with her, but I think I'm also slightly reluctant, right? I'm like, I'll go, like I'll do it, but like I really don't want to. Kind of a thing. And so I think my mom is like, you need to get this love potion because we know that he's reluctant. And so you need to get him to like fall in love with you.
Maybe it's less that he's reluctant, more to he's just picky.
Or yeah, maybe that's what my mom thinks, right? That he's picky. So we need to get him to like, choose you. And so we're gonna go get this love potion. And Margaret's right. Really, mom, is that necessary? Like if this falls through, like what's the I can just, do we have to?
Wait, that means the mother's gonna meet her son like, you look familiar.
Yeah, I guess that's true, huh?
You're muted, Jordan, if you're trying to say anything.
I'm just playing with accents. Don't worry about me. I'm trying to figure out this character's voice.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So who's all gonna be in this scene then?
So me, Jordan, and then someone else to play my mom.
Someone to play the mother. Do you want to play the mother?
I think
it makes more sense for me to play this mother because then someone else can play my mother.
That's true.
Well, I guess you could also play my mother.
Seth could technically be there, right? Maybe he's meeting us there.
I'm down with whatever. So if you want to play the mother,
well, because here's the thing: it's gonna make sense in the next scene if it's you meeting each other that both mothers are there. So it might be beneficial if I'm the mother.
I see. Because then Jordan could be the other.
Or yeah, that's true. Jordan could be my mother.
Yeah,
that's true.
Perfect.
That's my only real argument. If you want to,
that's great.
Okay.
I'll just sit back and watch. It'll be fun.
Okay. So yeah, that's me establishing.
Okay. We're coming in the car. And all of a sudden, I'm guessing we just like
Zoom just took out that sound effect entirely.
Oh darn! I like that horse sound effect. And I imagine that we're just like coming up, and all of a sudden we get to the barren like area of trees, and then I just go, oh, what is my name, Alyssa? What's my name? Queen what?
Queen Victoria Elizabeth. I don't know. Those are generic names.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank my horse.
You actually have that.
That's amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
Jordan, you're great. So Queen,
they're actually like they came packaged as a horse from the movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So actually, real quick, should I have a different name from Edward then? Should I have? Because it sounds like we're both from England, basically.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I could change mine too.
No, that's fine.
I mean, it could both be European. Like, it's
I mean,
not... right. No,
Margaret's kind of Margaret's actually kind of more of a French name than a
yeah. So you're more like Marguerite.
Marguerite, yes.
Oh, that means I get to pull out this voice again.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there you go. Seth can do the French. So I think French mother. Yeah.
So I think we come into this area. We see all of these dead trees, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Darling, this is horrible."
I know, mother. That's why I said we shouldn't go here.
No. It's not. It is not the person we are going to absorb. It is just the trees. My goodness. They do not have good gardeners like we have back at
is
home.
this really necessary?
It is necessary if you want to, that went German for a second. It is necessary if you would like to have a future. Now, come on. He is not too far from
I just don't want it I just don't want to be queen by like any kind of like sorcery.
He's not so bad. And she kind of chuckles.
Mom, I
Implying that that's how she became queen. Amazing.
He's so bad about sorcery.
Mom, I just think that like if his whole thing is that he wants to get married for love, then shouldn't I just be myself?
No.
Okay, fine.
I have heard of this man. He is very, very picky. He turns down the kindest, most beautiful ladies. Not that you do not count. It's just we are not the first pick for them. And we will be as soon as we are done here. Oh, look. That is the house right now. Jordan, what does your house look like? Or whatever your hut or shack you're in.
It is a giant tree stump.
Wonderful.
It's like it looks like a house that is just a giant tree, but it's this just like like the top part is cut off and it's just like hollowed out. Imagine the Great Deku tree if he's like he's seen better years.
And she goes, "Oh, they were not kidding about the tree."
Should I go knock? And so she like goes up to the door and like
You hear an and a slight explosion somewhere off in this tree stump, and then like you see a little bit of like blue smoke appear off on the side, just coming out of the top of the alleged house. And then
hello?
A tall, gangly man opens the door. What brings you to the doorstep of Cafior? Or stump step, I should say. What brings you to the stump step of the great Cafior? Admirers? Patrons? Somebody in need of a service of some sort?
Yes, my name is Queen Victoria. We come from very far away. This here is my daughter. We need her a love potion for the King Edward, so we may win his heart and crown.
And like you see Margaret like in the back, like just like
TMI, mother, TMI.
He's a wizard. He'll figure it out. He's smart, apparently.
A love potion. Do I seem like some what is the word? Haphazard has been? Love potions are last century. Today, it is all about the love incense.
We'll go with the potions, thank you.
He rolls his eyes. A traditionalist, of course. They're always traditionalists. Nobody likes the really inventive stuff. It's fine. It's fine. Come in.
and like Margaret kind of like looks around. What does she see in your stump?
So there's like just the whole stump. It's really just one big rounded area, and you see like one small section where there's just a pillow and a like scrawny looking, like just poor blanket that's sitting right next to it. And then everything else is just papers and desk space and weird looking flasks filled with random colors and desks and what am I thinking? Not drawers, but kitchen, banking, like cupboards, cabinets and cupboards, full of who knows what things that you're not sure if you want to know the answers to.
I'm picturing it kind of like the magic guy in Princess Bride.
So Margaret will kind of look around and just say, so how exactly do you make a love potion?
Well, it depends. Are you trying to get them to love you? Are you trying to get them to love what you can do for them? Are you trying to get them to love your name? And what kind of love we're talking about? If it's more of an distant admiration and nothing too serious, then we use a different thing.
Nothing too serious would be great, actually.
No, we want it to be pretty serious.
I imagine,
darling, of course we want it to be serious.
I imagine in this case, a classic romance love potion is more your style.
Yes.
Mom, aren't you?
The first step is always to look over at that particular weird-looking leaf. You see that one over there, the purplish one with the blue dots on it. Do you see it?
Yes.
So while she's looking over, he just like has a pair of scissors and snips just a tiny little bit of her hair and like drops it into a flask.
But like, hey!
All right, great work.
I've been growing my hair for a very long time.
You will not miss it, darling.
You've done an excellent job with your hair. I'm sure your new husband will appreciate it greatly, especially after drinking this here. And just hands you a flask.
I
keep a couple of them.
Are you sure about this? I mean, how? What are the side effects of this thing? Like, is he gonna be like obsessed with me, or is it gonna like? I don't really, care for that. I've never even met him. I don't even know if I like him.
The truth is, this love potion only works as well as a person's personal love can work. So, however strongly this person is able to love, he will love you. But if this person is not capable of love, then, well, you might as well be having them drink mud water. Which, not as bad as people think, but that's beside the point.
Right. Have you ever met him before, the king?
Have we established whether or not we have?
We have not. Up to you, I assume.
You've met me. You know me, if anything.
Yeah. I think he says, have not personally met him, but I have seen him a couple of times. We have a mutual. We have. How you say mutual contacts. But I have not been personally very close to him. Although I hear he is a good-looking guy.
I've heard that too, but I don't know if good looks is enough to really, make a marriage last. It certainly didn't make my parents. It certainly didn't make my parents last very long.
And you're gonna glare at it, and I just kind of go, that is what the love potion is for. Does this magic man? Does this have a timing on it? Does it only last for a certain time? A certain potion maker I met did not inform me of a expiration of the magic, as you would say.
The potions that I make are all based on natural components. None of
No artificial ingredients.
organic,
Exactly.
non-GMO.
I abide by nature in my potion making. So any potion only tends to have, well, most potions I should say. There's an exception, but we don't talk about those potions. Those are darker potions. We don't do those here. We don't do those anywhere. Those are forbidden. Those are bad. If anyone tries to sell you a non-natural potion, you get away from them. They are charlatan. They are dangerous.
Those seed oils will kill you.
They kill you, and they kill you dead, and then they try to necromance your body. It's bad time. Anyway.
Oh dear.
No, these potions completely safe, completely natural. But the limitation of this potion in particular is that it only has the ability to make anybody love to the extent that they are able to love. So, if you have great guy and he loves for lifetime, you have great guy that loves for lifetime to you. If you have guy that would cheat on wife anyway, well, then you should probably find better person to give love potion to.
Very good thing. Let us go, Marguerite. We have places to be.
And then, like, as they're leaving, he like whispers to Margaret, "If something doesn't work out, come see me. I have many contingency plan potions."
Okay. Thank you, and I hope maybe see a familiar face at the palace. I don't know anybody in this kingdom.
I think she's implying,
Yeah,
will I see you there?
Yeah. So I make a trip to the kingdom once in a while, usually to get supplies or to sell some wares, but normally I like to just stick to my sticks, really. But that is how I was raised. More of a
Now, are you
lonesome
older
type
than
of
me or younger than me, Jordan? What do you think?
I imagine older.
Okay.
But what were you thinking?
No, that's fine. I don't care. I was just
That makes
curious.
sense because it could be like, the heir of the kingdom, of your guys' kingdom, right? Like got lost and they only have you now. And so it's like, well, the best we can do is marry her off to like
Right.
another kingdom
Joe
and
Schmo.
keep, yeah.
And it makes sense why you don't recognize him.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just say, well, thank you, and I appreciate your help.
Not a problem. Now to
And she
remember
kind of just like
this potion. Oh, he's gonna say. Now remember, as they're probably as they're leaving, he probably shouts back at them. Remember, the potion will make whoever drinks it fall in love with you specifically. And he's like,
Jordan, I love what you just
I
did
always
there.
forget to tell. I always forget to tell people that part.
Is that the end then of the scene?
I think so.
How did
Not
that?
quite
Up
sure.
to us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is up to you guys.
Yeah,
so.
it's up to us how to resolve it.
He closes the
I don't
door
know.
and then just ah.
For Marguerite, from my perspective, this is a Marguerite scene. I'm thinking neutral ending where it was like
Yeah.
it could have been worse, but it wasn't very good either.
Unfortunate,
Kind of
but
in the middle.
yes, in kind of a neutral ending.
Okay.
But this means you get a black and white die, and then you can give it away.
Oh, and I give it away. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Jordan,
right.
I'm going to give you a white die, and Seth, I'm going to give you a black die.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, no joke though.
Again, not bad yet.
Jordan, I want to see you playing a wizard because that was wonderful what you just did.
You know what I want? I want to see Jordan playing a wizard in Burning Wheel and having all of these like crazy esoteric spells that you can make, and that'll be great. Cool. So I'm thinking for my scene, I have an idea for it too. I'm thinking we open with you guys arriving, right? And then, my mother's talking over my shoulder about like everything that's happening and is, trying to convince me this is a good idea and I'm looking for lonely out the window or whatever, right? But it's like our initial meeting.
What is
the formal meeting?
What is your mother's name then?
Good question, Jordan. What do you think? You're gonna play her, so the Queen Mother what?
Oh, Jordan's giggling. This is gonna be good.
I'm not gonna go this direction, but I will send you what I thought.
Oh,
Seth.
I want to know. Yay.
Queen Anastasia.
Okay. Queen Mother, and it would be Queen Mother is I think the title because
it is Queen Mother Anastasia, darling.
Yeah, Queen would imply that you're still married to who is the proper king is, but Queen Mother means you were the queen and now you're just.
Oh, I got you.
You still have a station, you still have like importance, but you're not actually the queen of the kingdom anymore. Cool. Yeah. So I think we just see Edward, who is dark haired, very handsome. Wearing his some fine clothing. Has his crown. It doesn't look like it quite fits him yet, right? He's still kind of getting used to it. He's adjusting it as he's looking out the window and noticing like the carriage rolling up to the gates of the castle, and he sighs. And then I assume that's when Queen Mother Anastasia like sidles up behind, like over his shoulder, and starts, talking him through what is going to happen. This is all her idea, right? So that's you, Jordan.
So the queen.
So basically, I'm looking out the window at the carriage approaching, and I'm assuming that the Queen Mother comes up behind me and starts talking like, "All right, they're here now.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Like, keep your
All right
chin up."
now, darling. Remember, chin up, proper posture.
I know. Listen, Mother, are you positive this is the best option? I still think that one should marry for love to have a lasting marriage. You know what I mean?
One has to learn to love for a lasting marriage. Love doesn't simply happen out of thin air. That's preposterous, darling.
I think it's really funny that the two people who are like saying you need to get married are the two people who have never been in a relationship. We're telling the people who are actually married with kids, this is what marriage is about.
Yep. Yeah. And he says, I know. You told me this story a million times now, how you and father got married because of an arranged marriage, but you learned to love each other and appreciate each other and support each other. I know all of that already, but I just feel like I look out this window and I see the world. I see all the possibilities the world has to offer, and I think love is too important to leave to chance. Love happens to people mysteriously, and we don't always know how it happens, but we know when it happens. At least that's what the books say.
Oh, darling, you're right. Love doesn't happen by chance. Which is why we set up the arranged marriages for you.
But this is the thing. What if it's the wrong one? What if there's someone else out there someone else is a better fit, who will understand me for me?
No, sweetheart, that's a fair talk. You don't want that sort of dialogue running around in your head. That's why, well, never mind. We won't talk about your father. Anyway.
Mother, let's get one thing straight here. I am still the king. If I decide that this is not happening, then it's not happening. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance, and I understand that the kingdom needs an heir and needs it quickly, but if here's what I'll do. And I like turn around. I'll make a deal with you, Mom. All right? If I can find someone who's a better match for me for the Yuletide ball coming up in a week here, the ball that we're supposed to present each other, the betrothal at, that whole thing. If I can find someone before then, before the clock strikes midnight on the day of the ball, or no, it wouldn't be that because it would be you presenting it at the ball. I'm trying to think of like some suitably dramatic moment. Let's see. Before the clock strikes 9. That'll be the time when it's gonna happen. Like that was the planned time that evening to tell everybody. Then I'm gonna marry her instead, whoever I found. Deal?
All right, so the deal is that
if I can find someone to marry, that will still be a good fit, right? Like it was not some random peasant girl, right? Though it might be some random peasant girl. We'll see how it goes, right? I might try to get away with it, but before we're supposed to be officially presented as a couple, then But if I can't find anyone, until then, I'll agree. I'll go along with what your plan here.
She has like her little fan out, and she's just kind of like tapping it on her chest, fanning herself a little bit. She better be wearing one of our traditional, or no, what was, I don't know. She better be wearing the wedding attire.
Yeah, so I think he says, of course, will the dress that you set aside for the betrothal announcement, that Marguerite is supposed to be in. If I can find someone who looks just as regal in that dress, or more in that dress, then she'll be the one I'm announcing at the Yuletide ball instead.
Well, she also needs to be as regal, but all right.
Well, think about it this way, Mother. If someone can learn to love, someone can learn to be a noblewoman.
But her parents can't learn to be rich.
Maybe they could, with a little intrigue. Maybe maybe some land just happens to default to a different party. Maybe they come into an inheritance. All I'm saying, Mother, is let's keep our options open. I know that the right person is out there, and I look back at the window. Somewhere.
Maybe around this point you hear a knock on the door, and a pawn opens the door. King Edward, they're here.
Yeah, he turns and I'm trying to decide if he doesn't like you or he doesn't realize, or he's too dense to realize how creepy you are. Let's go with too dense to realize. I think he says, a pawn, just the person I was looking to see.
And a pawn's he's like a big muscular guy, bald head with a goatee.
Yeah. He says,
Thank you, Jordan.
A pawn, thank you for the announcement. We'll be down shortly, but I have another mission for you.
Yes, Your Highness.
My mother and I have made a deal. She wants me to have this arranged marriage, and you already know that I'm against it. But we made a deal. If I can find another woman, one who fits me better, and who fits the betrothal dress better, looks regal and queenly, and all that entails, then I get to marry her my better match instead. I need you to be on the lookout. I'll be doing my own searching, of course, but I only have so much time as the king. I need you to line up the kingdom's maidens. Whatever you need to do, find me the woman who will win my heart. If you can do that, then all the riches you could ever dream of.
As you wish, King Edward. I will keep my eye out for the lady.
Yes. Now, see, when you put it like that, it sounds a little weird, but I trust that you will be discreet.
As you wish, Your Highness. I'll go right away. Start looking.
Okay, again, the way you said that, very creepy sounding, but
the door's already closed.
I trust him. Turns back to you, Anastasia. Yeah. Shall we go meet them, Mother?
We shall. Oh, and Edward, honey, one last little stipulation to this potential bride of yours.
What is it, Mother?
You may be the king in deciding for yourself and have every right to reject this young woman. But remember, I also have to be impressed by your choice? By the one that you find and choose. If she doesn't win my approval, she will not win the kingdoms either.
We'll see about that, Mother. All right, let's go. And then he holds out his arm. I assume you guys descend the staircase, and we descend the staircase and then meet them in the royal throne room or whatever it is, right? To formally receive the guests. And so you're sitting at a side chair next to my throne, in a place of honor where the Queen Mother would be, and I'm sitting in the throne, and that's what the servants usher you forward, and we see Princess Marguerite and her mother, and yeah,
darling Queen Mother Anastasia, it is so good to see you. And you can just hear the malice dripping from her mouth as she's saying it. Or it's she's like, we're here. We know why we're here. We don't like each other.
Practical reasons only. Yeah.
Queen Victoria, it's such a pleasure. As always.
Yes, as always. As you know, this is my beautiful daughter,
You see,
Princess Marguerite.
When Marguerite gets introduced, she was at first side-eyeing her mom, and then she looks and she's like, oh yes, and then she gives the
curtsy,
curtsy, and she says,
Marvelous.
it's lovely to meet you, Queen Mother Anastasia and King Edward.
Edward looks bored.
Marguerite.
He's staring out of the window again from his throne. Yes, of course. The pleasure is mine. And I stand and I give a bow and sit back. And I think I go forward lazily and grab your hand, kiss it, do the whole thing, right?
I could tell you're bored though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marguerite kind of as you do that, she kind of leans forward and whispers in your ear, you don't have to look so enthused.
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shocks him out of his rudeness, and he doesn't want to marry you, but he also is a nice dude. He's not he notices when you call him out on it, and so he blinks and he's like, I'm sorry. And then
perhaps
I think
we should go for a walk.
Well, I think first before
sure.
you do, I think there's probably still more of the kind of ceremony about it. Yeah, posturing has to happen. So I probably ask I trust your travels were safe and the roads have been kept clear of bandits. I hope we try. No strange characters you met on the road?
Oh, no strange characters at all. She says, probably fingering the little. Actually, would you have given it to her, or would you still have it?
A love potion? I don't know. I thought you gave it to me so I could give it to him, but and it's technically in my character sheet, so I would assume it's
yeah.
fine.
That's true.
but she's probably like fingers crossed behind her back.
Yeah.
As Marguerite's like, right. We did come across quite a strange grove, though, the one with all the dead trees. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, I think Edward frowns and he says, there have been some stories about that. Tales of people going, of animals going missing and children not wanting to go near it. Please tell me more. What? I've heard legends, but I wasn't sure if it was true or not.
Hard cut to Cafior dissecting a frog. What? It's a living.
Cafior reminds
it's all organic.
Cafior reminds me of Doofenshmirtz.
What? It's a living.
That's who he reminds me of.
Edward the King. No, wait.
Yeah. I don't have my crown on. Edward. I put the crown on. Edward the King. King Edward. Amazing.
I think she just says, you've never been out there before as the king?
Yeah, I say, well, of course I've been out. I try to make a point of seeing the people and the countryside, but we've never been able to find the exact location of this hidden grove. From all I know, it moves around. Some sort of sorcery is at work.
Seems like you're pretty stumped. And she like kind of chuckles to herself.
Nice.
You know.
Yes, we certainly haven't been able to find any leads on it. So if you have anything to share, please do.
Cafior sneezes and then there's an explosion.
And then it like transports to a different location.
Right, yeah, the whole grove teleports. Amazing.
It's like it doesn't teleport intentionally. It's just him screwing up and magic.
Yeah. Happens every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah. So he asked you, like, do you know anything about this? Like, we would love to know more. Like, please.
We were just passing by it.
I see.
Thought it's strange.
Well, I'm sure that our beloved mothers would appreciate catching up. Why don't the two of us take a walk and go stroll through the gardens, perhaps?
Sounds lovely.
And he nods and then gives his mother a look as he walks away. Like, all right, I'm doing this. Like, you're welcome, sort of a thing. And then
I imagine as you two are walking, the two of the mothers are just glaring at each other.
I just imagine it's this weird, like, almost battle of them both.
Who can be the nicest? I have to say, Jordan and Seth playing old queen mothers is not something I ever knew that I wanted until now. Till it happened.
Not just queen mothers, but like posh queen mothers.
Posh old women. Yep. Who hate each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Love it.
Works for years, darling.
Amazing.
The truth is, this is who Seth and I are on the inside.
I was thinking that's probably where the scene ends. Like, I don't know if we need to continue with any conversations we have. Right? We already know it's going to be awkward. You know, he's going to be nice, but not like ever open his heart or anything. Right? Yeah. Good or bad ending for me?
I feel like it's also kind of neutral.
I think it's neutral, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, so I would argue it's good because we already knew that I was going to have to play this part.
That's true.
Oh, that's
right?
But I did get the concession of, hey, I can look for another person. That's the only thing that really changed in the scene, right?
Well, and that's what you wanted, right? That like that was your goal. So yeah, I guess
That's what
I just imagine that it acts like the moment that they both realize, yeah, neither of us want to be in this relationship. And then they both start bonding over that fact. And then they actually want to be in a relationship with each other.
That's kind of where I was thinking too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give a white die to Apan and a white die to Marguerite. So you're welcome, Seth.
Thanks.
It's already looking like it's going the direction I was thinking for my character. Okay. Yep. I think I want to establish, but I think, I kind of want to let me know what you guys think about this, because this is what I kind of want to establish. I kind of want to establish now Apon's going to Cafior, because here's the thing. He wants to sabotage, because he wants the king not to marry, because if the king never marries, then maybe he can be king.
Right. An heir to the throne is not something you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. We'll see. Now, I have found my way to Cafior, which takes a little bit because he's always moving around, but that is true. How do we find you? If
It's probably like not teleporting very far from the same general location.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, we go over into those woods, and you kind of follow the smell or something. And well, yeah, and you like, it's probably like as you get closer, there starts to be more dead trees and such. And then whenever he teleports, like all the life around there just magically goes back to being full and green and lifelike.
Mm-hmm. So Apon finds his way to Cafior. It says, "Wait, so I guess you're a fortune teller, but I guess magician works with fortune teller." Yes. So he goes. He barges in because he's probably been here a couple times. Cafior, I need your help.
How can I help you, Nicolas Cage?
I need to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Just the way that you said it, I'm like, all right, Nick Cage, let's do this.
I need to steal the declaration of their betrothal.
I need to steal the declaration of their betrothal. I'm Nicolas Cage.
I need to.
You forgot how to do the Napa voice.
I did. You know how magicians sometimes do love potions?
Love potion this, love potion that. Everybody wants love potions. I tell you, love incense, best way to go.
Well, I'm not looking for a love potion. I'm looking for a hate potion, I guess you'd call it.
I mean, have you tried cooking dinner?
No, it's not that simple.
That usually does it. Just one bad dinner. Well,
I don't need a potion to make someone hate me. I need a potion to make someone hate everybody.
A bad banquet?
Something kind of like that, yeah. Look, there's a acquaintance I have. And he's looking for, and I'm trying to think of how to say this. Someone's trying to manipulate him into a relationship, and I'm trying to keep him safe. So I need to make sure he doesn't fall in love with anybody.
I see. It is inverted love potion.
Yes, okay. Anti-love potion.
Anti-love potion.
If he takes it, his capacity for it depends on their capacity for hatred. if he's the sort of person who could hate anyone for any reason, he'll never love again.
I mean, that does sound on par for what we've been doing.
I think he says, as you know, I only deal in the natural solutions.
Yes, I know organic. I tried keto. No, not keto.
Primal?
No, dang it, vegan. Like, I tried going vegan. It just didn't work for me.
Oh, no, not vegan here. See that that pot back there? That is fried. I'm working on fried bat. Very weird potion. Don't want to talk about it. potions this, potions that. I tell you, incense is the way to. Anyway, so I suppose I could whip up a potion that. Well, you see, you can't quite make a potion that makes people hate other people. Not with the natural things. Hate is not a natural emotion. Right? A sense of justice. This we can do. A sense of justice and anger emerge from justice. That we do. But hate, however, if the goal is to not love, then, well, there is deadening. There is deadening of emotions.
That sounds like it.
I suppose I could create something that would put a bad taste in mouth, so to speak.
Like
So that so that there is no love emerging from person.
Perfect.
That there is not hatred, not malice, but just it block. Kind of like too much cheese. There's blockage. Cheese. Ah, yes. And he like goes over to a cabinet and like opens it up and rummages around and like pulls out this weird white cube with like green dots in it and runs over. Okay. So I can get started, but I need essence of person.
Essence.
You know, saliva or the piece of hair, blood even. Although I don't recommend blood. There's some weird stuff that starts happening when you involve the blood. But saliva good, hair good, toenail workable, not great taste, but would suffice. Dead skin, also weird, but would suffice. Weird texture, really. No flavor, just. But
I'm trying to think.
Essence.
Makes the potion all gritty, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of if Apan would reasonably already have something. Because my one thought is if we make it that I have to go in a scene and get it from him, I might not get back in time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you should just have something. You seem like the sort of scheming person who would be prepared for a situation.
I probably
like
already had something, come to think of it, because I probably came here expecting that I need something of that sort. So I'd say probably I have...
Maybe like grab like my comb that you...
Yeah,
right,
I probably have some
my
hair.
Comb.
Probably have some hair.
I just imagine that
a lock of my beautiful, luscious hair.
I just imagine that you went and you grabbed the brush, but it's actually not his. You thought it was his.
It's the Queen Mother's.
Yeah, it's the Queen Mother's.
Which would be just as effective. I mean,
well, so he takes it and goes, "Oh yes, this will work nicely." And then he like runs around and drips a couple of drops of something on it and like puts like wraps the hair around this little block he has and does a couple of things with it. He brings it back to you. Here, if you can get the person to eat this, their scent of love will be completely deadened. They will not have any ability to love a person or a cat or a horse or even themselves. All sense of care for romantic dealings or even friendship dealings, poof, gone, dead. Now, it is crucial to know two things about this. One, you have to get them to eat it, and they have to chew it. If they swallow whole, it will probably but possibly not, but probably kill them.
Thank you, Jordan.
Or
I like the idea of killing Caleb's character.
Just murder me.
and he goes, either that or provide some very bad stomach problems.
Indigestion,
Cheese
got
blockage. Anywho, number 2, no pun intended. 2.
Dang, Jordan, you've had some good ones this episode.
Jordan's zinging it with the one-liners.
Well, that one was a 2-liner, to be fair, but yes.
A 2-liner.
Oh boy.
The second thing to know, if anybody other than him eats this, that person will despise this person. Or at least, that's probably what would happen. Dead in emotion, but I suppose it would... well, I've never really thought about that. How would that go?
Look, I don't have time. If you find anything out, let me know. But I gotta get going.
Just make sure the person whose hair that was actually eats that. Because if not, if your friend eats this and then it is not your friend's hair, is someone else, then bad things could happen. Don't know what, but could be good.
Sounds good. I gotta go. Thank you for all your help. And he'll go off. And I am, for the record, I am totally up for that not being the actual king's hair.
I think it'll depend on how the scenes go, right?
Yeah.
As he's leaving, Cafior just goes, I always forget to ask people for money for this stuff.
Okay, you guys can finish it.
Yeah, I think. Well, so I guess it would be more neutral because, like, we don't know if it could go. I guess we're just judging the scene, right?
Yeah.
Went pretty well.
That's a fair point, though.
Yeah,
I think it's probably just good. Like, he got what he wanted, even if it turns out later that it's not what he wanted. Like in the scene,
it was good.
Like as far as we know, it was good for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I get 2 whites to give out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give one to Jordan. Do I just give both to Jordan? No one else is in the scene, but do I give both to Jordan is the question. I want to spread it out a little bit.
Spread the love.
Give one to me.
Yeah, you don't have a dice yet. And this is your hair, so,
There you go. My hair might die.
Yeah. And you might die.
Yep. Fair enough.
I kind of want like the last scene to end right as you ingest whatever potion, just because that would establish exactly, what it does.
Yeah. All right, Jordan, what are you thinking?
Because the idea is that I have to establish something with my character, right?
Or you could let us establish and you resolve.
Yeah, but it is highlighted on Cafior, yeah.
So I'm thinking Cafior is at the market, or like he's come to town. Probably a couple days, maybe a couple days or something has passed.
Mm-hmm.
He's come to town, set up his wares, and he's just, he's remembered, oh yeah, I need to make money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he's come to get some supplies and try to make some sort of profits, and he's got his fortune telling. Yeah. And he's got his fortune telling stand set up, and he's got a couple of odds and ends available for purchase.
Okay, so you're actually setting like a fortune teller like stand?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like the normal spot where people expect it to be. I feel like it's pretty established in this area for these people. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, it's if you're establishing, then you can cast us as whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have established.
I mean,
if you want a suggestion, I have a suggestion, but
okay.
That me and King Edward are going for one of our walks. Okay. And King Edward's like, we should do a fortune teller, and like she'll see that, like, we're like not.
It's not on the cards. Fate
it's on the cards for us, okay. Right? Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. So is this? I guess maybe you just hear us like talking as we're like you're getting your tarot card set up or whatever else it is, right?
Yeah.
And finishing up, making sure the inside of the tent or whatever your fortune telling tent is looking nice, and that's when you just hear basically, Princess Marguerite, I always try to ask fate about important things. Why don't we step into the fortune teller's tent and see what our futures are? I think it might be fun.
She looks at
Yeah, so is this like Kaffia, is this like an open, like a booth? Or is this like you go inside the tent that like there's a flap and then it's dark and mysterious inside?
So it's a pretty big tent, and there's like the front area that's lit up and you can see odds and ends and wares available for purchase. And then there's like a counter, and then there's like a darkened room behind where the fortune teller.
Are you at the counter?
Happens.
Or
he's
do you have
like
some random lackey at the counter?
I think he's just like not like at the counter. He's probably like out on the floor, like just messing stuff up, like, or not messing stuff up, putting stuff up.
Opposite of messing stuff up.
Yeah, because if she sees you right away, she might be a little bit more reluctant. But if she doesn't see you, she'll be like,
so it's like,
sure.
So
yeah,
so it's like open.
I'm not sure I believe in this stuff, but sure, why not?
So like the first section, like you can, as you're kind of walking by, you can see through it and see the first area that's pretty well lit up. You still have to like see inside of the tent, right? It's kind of like if you just went to a store and you open the door up and you can see through the front door. It's like the front door is always open kind of thing. So you can see inside immediately, but
yeah,
so
I don't think I see
then?
you. I don't think I see you right away though.
Yeah,
probably right.
Okay,
Probably
okay.
just see like the name and then we walk in, and then that's when I'm like, oh crap.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So I obviously am not reacting, but I just basically say, you're a fortune teller? Yes, that's what the sign says anyway.
He like stands up,
and I have my crown on. Like it's obvious that I'm like the king of the country.
Okay, he stands up and he like, he's probably looking away when you say this, so he stands up and goes, yes, dusts himself off. What is the fortune? What is the fortune you tend to seek today? Hey, Your Highness. And he like bows.
Oh, please. I'm just an ordinary man. I just need to get used to wearing the crown. That's why I wear it so often. And then he realizes he kind of like overshared a little bit, and he backs up and he stops himself and he says, yes, we are here to have our fortunes told. This is Princess Marguerite from whatever name of your country.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's right. We never established that.
Yeah.
She curtsies and she just says, "It's nice to meet you."
And he like looks like his eyes just dart back and forth between them, and he like light bulb moment happens, and he goes, and like internal dialogue is just, oh crap.
I mean, the Queen Victoria literally said we're here to make their king fall in love with her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's not really a secret.
Yeah, well, it's just like, it's like, oh crap, this is what I now have to deal with. And I think he says to himself something like, I need to think twice about doing this.
I really need to get paid more for this.
Yes, fortune, you say.
Yes, I've always been interested in what fate has in store for my future.
Many tend to invoke fate in affairs of fortune, in affairs of consequence, romance.
Yes. Sure. Yeah, as one possible example.
Yes.
One possible example. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things that fate tends to tell us, things that we don't care to hear, like you're going to live in a stump for the rest of your life. But that's beside the point. Anyway, why don't you step back?
Please, how is it done?
Yeah, step back this way, behind the counter in this other room.
Marguerite, after you.
Marguerite kind of, like it's just like a little tense, but she, kind of like, gracefully walks over to the seat and sits down and has her hands, folded in her lap, and she just says, yes, so how does this work?
All right. I've got so many ideas. Oh dear.
Just be as vague as possible,
Yeah.
so no matter what you say, it's accurate. That's how all fortune telling works.
Yeah.
Okay, so he
You
says,
will meet
"First-"
the love of your life, but maybe you've already met her.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually just gonna.
Are you generating like an AI fortune teller or something like that?
No, I'm definitely not Googling cheesy fortune telling quotes. Shame on you for thinking a cookie is psychic.
Oh, fortune cookie.
This cookie fell on the ground. Okay. Okay, never mind that. So, he says there are many ways to tell different fortunes. So, to start, both of you have a seat right here, and tell me, what is fortune you seek? Do you seek the fate of a beloved one who's maybe gone to war? Do you seek the wanderings of a lost soul in the afterlife? Wonder what they are thinking?
I seek someone I did lose, actually. I don't have any memories of him, but I always wondered if his fate was, if he turned out happy or if he's okay.
Yes.
And I kind of say this because I'm definitely talking about like my long lost brother, but I'm kind of like trying to like intrigue, the king kind of a thing into like, what this is.
Yeah, I'm not like not paying attention. I'm like waiting for mine, right? Like waiting for the confirmation.
Yeah, so he nods and he like reaches into like a chest that's like behind him and says, now, did you specify if he was with us, or is he with us? Is he alive? Or
I don't know.
Then in that case, and he switches over to a different chest and pulls out a deck of cards, and he shuffles them around a bit, and he splays out this deck in front of you and says, close eyes.
So she does, and she kind of like almost like holds out like her hands like this, kind of a thing, and just like like on the table.
Imagine the person. Any memories you may have, any thoughts, any ideas of this person. Last contact, or
what does a Cafior look like?
Yeah, have we ever got a description of him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did we establish that? Was he around when he got lost though? Where were you old enough to remember him? I guess.
I don't think so, but I mean,
May have heard stories.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of the person that I have in mind for this.
Okay.
I'm currently imagining being the merciless.
Oh, okay.
Is this also a Dragon Ball Z character, or is this from Dragon Quest?
He gives a description to Jordan from the for the stream.
It's almost Dragon Ball. It is from Dragon Quest. I'm imagining how's it pronounced? Calderasha from Dragon Quest VIII. One of my favorite games. So he's got this big bushy mustache, and he's wearing a this long purple robe, and he has strange ornaments around his neck and chest. Various crystal figures are aligned on the necklace, and then there's just hair. I imagine long and flat, but he has a ponytail. But then there's also hair that's not in his ponytail. Dark hair, dark, almost black, but a little bit red hair, and it's just part ponytail and part just sitting out on his shoulders. And again, tall and gangly, as I said before.
So yeah, I don't know if she gives you like a description like that obviously exactly matches you, but she says,
well, I mean, he says imagine it.
Yeah, no, so she like closes her eyes and she just says, I don't know if I can, but my mother always said he had a very kind face, dark hair.
Yes.
We see Jordan's character going.
Yes.
Kind face.
Like, no. He holds out his hand to you. And he whispers, and he says, I'm over here. Take my hand. Reach out. Reach out your hand.
And then so she like kind of like, does like this where like she like lifts up her hands and like kind of reaches out with her eyes like still closed.
Find him. Find his hand. Is it to your left? Is it to your right? Is he directly in front? You find him.
Are you telling me to like look at the? She's like, are you telling me to like touch the cards? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean.
The idea is like follow your hands where you think they're supposed, like where you think his hands are. Like if in your mental image he's like over here.
Okay,
yeah.
so she like kind of like okay, she's like okay she kind of like mutters okay and then she like goes like to the right.
Okay. Then he goes to about where your hands hover, and he like grabs both of your like you have it with two hands, right?
Uh-huh.
He grabs both pinkies and brings them down to like a V and touches a random card.
Uh-huh.
And you know what we're gonna do?
Actually gonna roll a die or pick a card?
Pick a random like tarot card or something.
Where's the no, I'm not gonna actually pick a tarot card, but where's the card function in this? In D20. In D20. In roll 20.
It's here. There you go.
Ah, thank you. Draw one card.
You should be able to drag that card out of the field from your hand.
I don't. Did it? Oh, here we go. The three of diamonds.
Yes, a very portentous card.
Yes. It says
You will get 3
he's in
diamonds.
a room with. There are a total of 3 people in the room with him right now. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be hilarious. Including him, of course.
Yeah.
Very important.
Wouldn't be inaccurate. It just wouldn't be very helpful.
Yeah.
So, oh man.
Someone diamonds. Yes, diamonds. A wedding ring. An engagement ring. 3 possible people who will give you an engagement ring.
He's not getting
I
married.
didn't ask about an engagement ring. Shh.
Yeah, I'm like, shh, no. This I'm interested in this.
Jordan's typing something.
Who's giving her the engagement ring? He has blonde hair, right? Blonde hair. Not dark hair. Blonde hair.
I think he says. Okay, so I actually had in my head that depending on the color of the card, if it was red, then it would somehow be beneficial to Alyssa's character, and if it drew black, then it would be somehow seemingly beneficial to Edwards. So I think he says.
Well, she asked about Cafior.
Yeah, I know.
Is it just that, like, he reveals that, like, oh yeah, he's still alive. He's still out there.
Yeah, I mean that would be the easy.
I think it's something
vague
like
answer, right?
You
wouldn't even have to say alive. It could just be he's still out there somewhere, waiting for you, trying to talk to you.
Yeah, I think he says 3 of diamonds is a sign of hope. There is something good with it. This person. The cards reveal hope. It seems his future may be bright like a diamond.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Shine bright like a diamond.
And so Margaret goes, so you're saying he may still be out there? And this is like the first time that she's like gotten into it, like actually. And she's like, you saying he's alive? And she's like, I don't have to marry this guy because he has no inclination towards me. You've been like, just, yeah. But she just hasn't said that.
Yeah.
I think he says, the cards seem to shine in your favor. They speak hope to you. He is the ray of hope for you.
He always has been that.
Yes.
Always hoped he'd come back and, well.
Fate is mysterious.
She like holds her tongue because she really wants to say, prevent me from marrying someone that my mom pawns me off to.
I think Edward is starting to catch on though, because he probably knows at least somewhat of the story of your family, right? And so he starts thinking out loud and he says, oh yes, you're talking about the missing heir of your family. I'm sorry for your loss, but this seems promising. He might still be out there. You might need to go find him. Is there anything else you can tell us, fortune teller?
I can tell you many things. Well, I can tell you, you be more specific. I can tell you many things. I can tell you how to.
Where is he? Give us a direction.
Direction. Okay.
Weird. It's just spinning in a circle.
he he goes into that same special side chest and pulls out a rat, like a dead rat, and just is holding it by the tail. And
yes, that's not your brother, is it?
I think we're done here.
he like tosses it in the air and says, "There's usually a heads or tails to this sort of thing. Give just a sec." And he tosses it up.
Give
then,
just sec.
And like Marguerite's like kind of starts to like stand up a little bit, like I'm done with this. Like,
well, I haven't gotten my fortune told yet.
And he tosses it up. The rat like is right above him, like is just like right there, and he has a bird that's been like pecking at the cage in the corner, and it's just kind of been there doing his thing the whole time. Bird manages to get loose and flies right above his head and like swallows the rat hole, or swallows the mouse hole. Like right when he tosses it, he's like, "That's never happened before." Sorry, the results are inconclusive. Sometimes
I think, and Marguerite like, yeah, at that point she just like shakes her head and she just like stands up and she just says, "King Edward, I'm sorry, this is absolutely ridiculous. Not only did he not tell me anything that I didn't already know, but the fact that you leave things up to fate is just ridiculous. I'm going to leave things up to my own fate." And then she kind of like, and it like alludes to like the bottle that's like in her like dress. And she's just like, "I think we're done here." And she just like starts walking out.
Yeah.
He just goes, "He's very sorry about that.
Fortune teller, can you tell me something? It's a very simple question. Am I going to marry someone that I actually love? No, that's too complicated for this sort of thing. Will I find love before it's too late? That's all I need to know. So grab your card, cast your bones, whatever you have to do. Yeah. I just want to know.
He pulls out a coin and says,
"Heads or tails?"
Your Majesty.
Heads, you do. Tails, you die alone.
If it's your head, then it's good. If it is your tail, then it's bad. No.
If it's your head, it's your head. If it's tail, you'll be fine.
If it's tail, you get tail.
Oh my gosh. I knew the moment that Alyssa said it, my mind processed.
I didn't meant to go with the tail. The tail, I meant like you die, like your head gets chopped off, and then it just sorry.
Yeah. It's fine.
Anyway, he pulls out a coin and says, "Your Majesty, fate is interesting thing. You see, we can stare at fate like painting, and we see it and appreciate it for what it is, or despise it for the garbage that we read it as. But fate, he flips the coin, and like it lands, and he palms it, and he goes, "Fate is something that sometimes we make our own." And he like just like palms it and puts the coin sideways in his fingers instead of like like this.
Yeah.
And we get to choose, and we paint canvas how we see fit. What you need is fate brush.
Fate brush?
Yes, fate brush.
I don't understand. Like, I
they
need to
never do.
brush with fate? Like, I need to run into my destiny? I'm confused.
You need to pay me for this service. No. That costs extra. No.
That will cost another
your
15
trial-
minutes, please.
Your free trial of WinRAR has expired.
It's all right. I just click do not buy and
keep
I'll
using
get to
it.
use it forever. Yeah.
In other words, Your Highness, you get to make it. In other words, Your Highness, it's your face on the coin. You make your own fate. You make your own coin.
Suppose that's true.
Speaking of coin, shakes the wallet.
Yeah. I think he nods and he says, "You're right, fortune teller. I already told my mother I don't believe in chance. So I need to grab hold of my own destiny, as it were. Do this myself. Don't trust anything to fate. If the world is my canvas, I will find a fate brush of my own and paint something beautiful with it. How about that?"
Well, you could always borrow someone else's fate brush.
Oh, do you have one?
I do, actually.
How much is that?
He like walks into he like walks out and says walks into like the main area. He goes right here, and he like pulls out a really colorful quill, like an oddly colorful quill.
Oh, you were serious. I thought we were just doing a bit. Okay.
No. This is fate brush.
Okay. So, how does it work?
God, we just all gonna have these magic items.
Whatever you write with this quill becomes a part of your will. If you are determined to toss a log 100 feet in the air, you write on sheet of paper, maybe diary, I don't, whatever kingly business works for you. You write with quill. And
Perfect. So I write, upon heart attack, 2 a.m.
I haven't even seen Death Note and I got that.
I see.
You think you're gamers? You put in, I put in 100 hours in Animal Crossing. That's nothing! Have you seen that?
No.
Anyway,
No.
okay, I've got to send that after this. Anyway, you write. Once you write, you not only write words on paper, you write words on heart and mind and soul. You will embody the things that you write for. You will relentlessly pursue these things. Now, if you believe maybe bad idea to try to lift log and toss it 100 feet in air, because maybe not so realistic, yeah? Then, all you do, you rip up paper, is done, no problem.
Oh, that's
We'll-
reassuring.
We'll warn you. If quill runs out of ink, it's best to come to me to restock. Quill likes to
It's a magic ink.
yes. The ink it uses naturally, it tends to take user blood. I don't like that. So I use substitute blood. I like frog blood. Frog blood usually tends to work just as well as user blood.
I see.
Tends to stink a little more, and these awkward splashes on paper, but is better than having to stab finger every time I try to write something.
I can imagine. And he reaches out to grab it.
Yes, and he presents it to you and says, "My gift to you, Your Highness, and good luck in your dealings."
Well, thank you. And he starts to turn away, and he says, "I never got your name."
They call me Kafior the Great.
And then he just says, "Write my destiny." And then he starts to walk away. And he says, "If only I was literate."
And then Kafior is just like, "Finally got rid of that last feather duster."
Oh, it's a ballerina shoes.
That's a better line to end on, I think. Anyway, I think I was mainly making a joke. I think he does know how to write. There would be no reason he wouldn't. That is the funnier line to end on. Love it. Cool. Yeah. That seems like a good scene for Jordan.
Yeah,
right?
Scene. Well, this is going to be really unfortunate for the rest of us then, who are going to have really bad endings.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Who
Jordan
do you want to give these away to, Jordan? These white dice.
You were both in the scene, and you both did great. So both of you got
nice.
Thanks.
That's great. We'll just screw over Seth. It'll be awesome. That's so funny.
I'm the murderous one, and I'm still the one that dies, probably.
Actually, if you got a bunch of black dice right now, you'd be fine.
I could become emperor, or king, or emperor. If I just load up on black dice now,
or maybe come in Kafior, he make you queen.
And people will see and upon say, "Yes, queen."
Yes, queen.
Man, okay. So I'm trying to decide for my scene, right?
Well, so we do have to do the tilt.
Oh, right.
Right.
So we'll do that real quick. Let's see if I can find the document for this. Fiasco. That's not the right one. There you go. The tilt. Okay, so who has the most? Actually, I always forget which.
Oh, we all have 2 dice.
I
have the most black dice.
Everybody rolls. Okay. So
everyone rolls their dice.
Yeah. Everybody rolls their dice. And it's like the highest of each.
Well, it's going to be very white then, because I rolled a black 1.
I mean, that makes sense because everybody else is going to have a white something.
I rolled 2.
The most white. So I got 6.
So just Jordan.
You can. So the dice that are in front of you there, you can, select both of them, right click, click multi-sided,
and then random. Okay.
And random side, yeah. Okay, so you and Seth are the ones who get to choose these. So let me take a look here. Okay. Roll the unused dice in the central pile.
A lot of black
actual
dice.
Tilt table. 56. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Oh, man.
I'm sending a link in the chat. Nobody watch it until afterwards because I want everybody to watch it.
Sounds good. Okay, so those are the numbers you have to work with.
Mhm.
2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just no ones. And then your first option will have Seth choose first the category. So your options to choose from are tragedy, innocence, guilt, paranoia, or failure. Since there's no ones.
Sorry. Say it again.
Tragedy, innocence, guilt, paranoia, failure.
Feel like failure, maybe.
So the options on that one are a stupid plan executed to perfection, something precious is on fire, a tiny mistake leads to ruin, a good plan comes unraveled, you thought it was taken care of, but it wasn't, fear leads to a fateful decision.
What was the first one?
A stupid plan executed to perfection.
I like that one.
Very fun. So you're going to choose failure. And then Jordan, you get to choose the actual specific one in here. Actually, because we don't have any ones though, you can't choose a stupid plan executed to perfection.
Oh, I thought you were reading the ones I had options
No,
for.
sorry. Yeah. I just was reading all of them. I should have actually read only the ones that mattered. So Jordan, these are the ones you get to choose from. Something precious is on fire. A tiny mistake leads to ruin. A good plan becomes unraveled. You thought it was taken care of, but it wasn't. Or fear leads to a fateful decision. Actually, sorry, you don't get that last one either because Seth chose the 6.
Can I read these? Where are these?
Yeah. Let me just copy paste them for you guys. Okay, those are the options you have to choose. They're in Roll20 chat.
I like you thought it was taken care of, but it wasn't.
Me too.
That's a good one. All right, so that's the tilt we're adding into the second half of the story.
Hail.
Okie dokie. Alyssa, what are you thinking?
Wait, where's the 2 come in on this? Or was that just one of the options we had for these?
What do you mean?
Because we rolled the black and the white dice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at that point. It's just
okay. That's what I was wondering.
The numbers. Yeah.
See, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to like think of like Marguerite's like mindset, right? Because she didn't really want this marriage either, but she has this love potion.
Mm-hmm.
So
is she going to use
like,
it? That's the question.
Yeah, right. I think that's the question because she doesn't seem to really like you very much. I don't think she likes your dumb fate ideals.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I didn't even have dumb fate ideals. I just wanted to convince you to not marry me.
Which you did.
But I suppose so. Yeah. So I accomplished all I wanted to accomplish. I don't care. I don't really care what you think about me.
Right. Exactly. But I think it's just like
Caleb is playing me.
But she also like
sabotaging
has this thing, and I feel like it'd be really boring to be like, oh, she doesn't use it, you know, like kind of a thing.
Well, one thing you could do, I mean,
I think
did the potion specify romantic love? Was that exact what it was for sure?
Yeah,
loving as much as they're able to.
Right, that's the question. That was my question. Is it that, or is it just romantic love as much as they're able to love? Was it ever explicitly specified? Because my thought would be, good.
Well, I think I specified that it had to be, or that it was because he was like asking,
like
what kind of love? So
okay, I just want to make sure because I had a thought where maybe you'd use it on your mom if it was just like regular love, and then get her to,
like
call
love
it
me,
off, right? Yeah, exactly. Right. Call off this whole thing because I don't want this, right?
I mean,
right.
I thought
I almost wonder though if that whole charade made her think like, okay, maybe my brother's out there, but like I can't rely on that, and so like I think I just have to like do what I have to do, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So maybe you think about it for a while, and you're like, I wish I could believe that this is like my hope out of this, but I have to be thinking practically about this. I should probably just do what my mom says.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to establish the scene as we're like having like tea time, and she's like, put the potion in your tea, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Do I have to like do that in the scene, do you think? Or well, I guess I'm establishing, so I can establish
Yep.
whatever I want. So I I have put the potion in your tea. And
Okay.
I'm like, trying to be like, hey, I'm really sorry about my explosion earlier. Like, I hope that like, we can just like have tea and just like, have a nice morning kind of a thing.
This tea has a hair in it.
Exactly. I think maybe we get a flashback to earlier that day, and we see Edward writing down, right, like, I will fall in love, right? Like that's the thing he wants. He just doesn't realize that he's 100% going into that in a way that he didn't expect. So I think he wrote that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you put this in his tea. And he's probably talking to you about maybe your mother's, right? Maybe he's like, I know my mother can be unbelievably overbearing sometimes. I hope she hasn't tried to have you try on her wedding dress or anything crazy like that.
Not yet, although she has been very accommodating.
Yeah, accommodating is one word for it.
Yeah.
And he grabs the maybe there's a moment where what's his face? Upon comes in for a moment and like wants to have a word with me, and we don't even need to have the conversation, but I like step out for a moment. Maybe you're just updating me on the like process to finding a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a quick conversation, and I step back into the room, and you've just put the potion in the tea.
I'm describing the girls in just like a really creepy way.
Right. And her body. Like, I don't want to know.
No.
Stop. You told me to look for the girls. What did you expect me to say?
Told you to be a normal human being.
This isn't normal.
Yeah.
You really haven't been to court very often. This is tame compared to what I hear in there. I just gotta say.
I believe it. Anyway, yeah, you keep go. Set up the. I'll meet with a few of them. We'll see how it goes.
What are you doing right now? Are you meeting with the princess?
Yes, we're having tea right now.
Oh, do you need some sandwiches to go with that tea?
Oh no.
Sure. Yes, that's fine.
Okay, I'll get on that.
That's very kind of you, Upon.
I know. I feel like it would just be a lot of help. So I'll go get that right. I'll go talk to the chefs. I'll get that right away.
All right, thank you. And yeah, he steps back in. You've drugged the tea already, right? I step over, and I think there's going to be a moment where the sandwiches are getting ready. So I think there will at least be some amount of time where this potion is affecting me, right? Maybe it'll be counteracted by what Seth's going to do. I drink the tea. And then what's the shot we get where I look over and suddenly there's like a halo around you and there's light pouring down, right? Like where like my entire demeanor's changed. And like what maybe are you saying?
I think she just like to see if it works. I think she like says, King Over, can you just be honest with me? Do you find me just boring or unattractive? Because you just don't seem to pay much attention to me the last couple of days.
Yeah, so you're saying that as I'm looking out the window, drinking the tea, and then I'm like, I sigh, and I turn back to you, and then my eyes widen. Exactly, right.
Can't go that high, sorry.
Da 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 da. And I falter. I falter in what I was about to say, right? Because I'm like, to be honest, right? That's what I was about to say. And I say, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Do you find me? And then like you don't even like hear the words that are coming in my lips.
Exactly. And it's just no. This is what we do. We do a close up. We do a close up, and it just says, "I love you, Edward." Right, really slow motion. Like I blink. I'm sorry. One more time.
Are you even listening? Do you really find me that boring?
No, I don't find you boring at all. I have to be honest, Marguerite. I find you the most interesting person in the world.
And she's like, "Oh crap, it worked." I didn't think that was. And she's like, in her head, she's like, I didn't think that was actually going to work.
Yeah.
Well, what do you find interesting about me?
I don't know. I guess it's just so easy to talk to you. You know, we're bantering about our mothers, like we're already married, talking about in-laws. It's endearing. I don't know. I can just imagine myself being married to you.
Well, that's probably the nicest thing you've said to me all week.
You're right. I'm sorry. I've been terribly rude, haven't I?
I guess I haven't been very good either.
I'll be completely honest, Princess Marguerite. I was trying to get out of this. I've been trying to do everything I could to ignore you, not think about you, but
you wanted out of this too? And she's like, oh crap, what have I done?
Yeah. He says, well, not anymore. Don't worry. I realize now that you're amazing, and I've been such a fool.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. I mean, I think you're great too, obviously.
I was so worried. I was so worried telling my mother that I wanted to marry for love, and, well, I suppose love was in front of me the whole time, wasn't it?
Right.
By the way, I know
Right.
what happens if you both drink the love potion and eat the cheese. I know what happens.
Okay, all right.
Just throwing that out there in case.
So do you like the sandwiches like come in at this point? Because
a little bit, because I figured that's how the scene would end.
okay, because well, I had an idea, so
Yeah. Let's say the sandwiches come out. I think.
I feel like I'm really nervous, and like she's just like gonna start shoving food in her mouth.
Oh, sure.
Oh
okay,
no!
Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, so I say, oh, thank you, Upon. I appreciate it. Yes.
This one's for you.
Very good. Yeah. So you gave me a specific sandwich.
I mean, here's the thing.
Well, because I had the idea where basically I think what I say is I look at it and I'm like, I'm sorry, Upon. I have to say that my stomach is full of butterflies all of a sudden. I don't know if I
can
this.
bring these back later then if you want.
Well, it's all right. Princess Marguerite, are you hungry?
I'm very
Here, you can have this one, and I just give you my sandwich.
Thank you so much. I don't know what I'm, and she just like starts like nervously like eating the sandwich.
Yeah.
So what happens to me, Jordan?
So obviously she didn't take the love potion, so this is whatever.
I think this is the twist where you thought it was taken care of, but it wasn't.
Now, not only do you not want to be with him, but you feel absolutely nothing for him. Like to the point where like
changed.
Like you like the thought of being with him, like you would rather like how do I put this?
I think there's definitely a moment.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a moment where like I start talking about like the wedding and stuff, right? I'm like, well, I suppose we've gotten that out of the way and we can really get down to business. What were you thinking for well, maybe not wedding. I'm trying to think of something along those lines that you guys would want to talk about. Where he'd
like
be excited
ball,
now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the engagement announcement.
I must say, I think I'm more excited than ever to share with the kingdom that I've found a wife.
And she like kind of convulsed, like it's at that moment where it like starts to hit, and she like starts to go like,
oh my! Upon, what did you do to these sandwiches?
I didn't make them. He probably is like the guy in the back, like, maybe I should have used my rusty knife to cut the stuff into pieces.
And she's just like, no, I'm fine, really. I think I need to go talk to my mother because, I'm just so excited about this.
Of course. No, yeah. I could use a moment to myself to process everything.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, no, thank you.
And I turn back to Upon, you really need to apologize to Princess Marguerite and her mother for
I got them from the
food
cooks.
poisoning the day before the Yuletide ball.
I didn't make the sandwiches.
Then who did?
Brought them.
Upon, fire them, please. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I will. That did not go as planned. He says as he's walking away. He's like, I did make the sandwiches.
Right, of course. And the last thing we see is just I pick a piece of rust off of one of the sandwiches. I'm like, what in the?
Need new silverware.
That sounded like a bad scene for Alyssa.
Yeah, I think so.
And me too.
And you keep these dice, so you
are
now even.
I'm just like even.
Oh wait, do they only go to one person?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep. They only go to one person, and she keeps both. So.
Well, actually,
so
I guess
you love me, I hate you. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this isn't that bad of a scene for me then, because I kind of want that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't go exactly as you wanted, but has a similar effect. So I don't really have a particular idea as to what my scene should be. Does anyone want to establish?
Maybe it's you said it's the night before.
Yeah, I assumed it would be close at this point. Yeah.
Maybe like that was mid-morning and it's now the afternoon. You haven't seen or heard from the princess since, and you don't know what's happened.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's you're in love with this girl and you cannot find her.
Are you saying like this is the Yuletide ball is happening today and like we need to find her because we're announcing everything?
Oh, that is a bit more dramatic. I like that.
I mean, we're getting down to the last scenes here, right?
It's the morning of, and you haven't heard from the princess,
and no one's heard from her, right? Like, yeah. So, I think maybe. Well, I mean, you guys can cast people. If you're establishing. So, I'm not sure who I'd be talking to exactly.
I mean, you could be talking to me. I am your vizier.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah. So, I think I just say, Upon, where could she possibly be? I mean, everything was going so great just yesterday, and then she's disappeared. Something must have happened to her. Someone must have kidnapped her. This is a scandal, court intrigue.
Actually, so, she was like disappeared. She said she was going to her mother. So we established her mother's gone too, then, or?
I mean, I could have just been lying about that, but
fair enough.
Yeah,
just to get away.
Has anyone heard from her mother?
Her mother. This is just turning into a weird accent.
It reminds me of the good story.
Yes, exactly. I couldn't remember his name. I was reminiscing of him too. Yeah, sure. my person wanted to do that. Her mother saw her a bit yesterday, but her mother's been kind of chatty with yours a bit more than anything else right now. She hasn't exactly been paying attention to the princess.
Of course. Well, Upon, we need to find her. We have to scour the city.
Of course. I've sent my best guards off to go find her already.
No stone left unturned. You hear me? No stone.
Yes, not a stone. Even the pebble.
Sure. Okay. Do you understand that I'm using a metaphor here? I don't actually want you looking under stones per se.
I know. I was agreeing with you and saying just how thorough we will be.
Oh, okay.
I know how metaphors work too.
Sometimes it's hard to tell, Upon. Sometimes it is hard to tell.
Well, sometimes I don't know.
Don't make any more sandwiches, but do find the princess.
I will go as quickly as I possibly can.
Very good.
As he stands there.
Shoo.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, so I'm just like standing there like distraught. Let's I don't know, Alyssa, where is Princess Anne?
Well, I was saying you could
Um,
talk to your mother too.
Yeah, and I might. I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm so repulsed by you, I may have just like run away. I don't
Well,
know.
maybe did you run away and then maybe you stumble upon Cafior?
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking.
That seems like the most obvious conclusion. Yeah. So maybe it's what am I saying? Because we wouldn't necessarily cut to that scene now, but we know that that's where she is. So I guess the question is, I'm just not entirely sure where to go with the scene at this point, since it's just people looking for you, and it's the question, I guess, is because I guess I could talk to my mom, but I don't really know exactly what I would say, except for I'm in love with her, which she, I guess, I assume at this point would have already known.
Maybe you run after her.
But where, right? That's the question. I just don't know where. No one knows where. That's kind of the entire point, right? I suppose I could just like get on my horse and just like ride off into the sunset or something, right? And just be like
maybe
wandering aimlessly.
Would it make sense that you then just happen to come upon Cafior's place and find her?
Right. Let's just say I get on my horse and ride off into just, wandering aimlessly. And then maybe we cut over to Alyssa and Cafior, or Marguerite and Cafior. And maybe I do indeed like show up in the middle of it somehow.
And you're like,
does that
the
make
one
sense
place
though? Because this is
well, it's still my scene.
Your character's scene.
It's still my scene. But I think the thing we need to know now is what is going to transpire between the two of these characters.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think, yeah, if she's talking to Cafior, she'll be like, "What did you do?" In like that potion, and she's just like, "I hate that man. He loves me, but I absolutely hate this man."
Kaffir goes, random question. Did you
every time I think about even like our lips like being close, I just want to vomit.
Does it put taste of bad cheese in mouth?
Yes. Such bad cheese. Like moldy cheese.
He goes, oh, for love. Did you eat cheese shortly before you discovered this?
What does that have to do with anything?
Just a diagnostic question.
I had a sandwich.
Oh, sandwich, of course, the crafty. Okay. I think I fixed taste and mouth. I think I know what happened. And I think you're going to be upset. And
just fix it. Just make him in love with me. I don't want him anymore. Like I wish I would have known that he didn't really. I just thought that like he was just like bored. Like that was just like personality. I didn't know that he was like looking for love. Because if I had known that, then I just would have played on that and made him like break off the engagement. But no, I got desperate, and so I gave him the ledge potion, and now I'm regretting all my choices, and I just really hate this man.
And that's when I step into the stump and I'm like, frowning. Is that really the truth of everything that's happened?
And she like, crap.
I went searching for you, Marguerite, and suddenly a stump and a grove of dead trees appeared in front of my path, and you're here. I heard a sneeze. That doesn't matter. What matters is that I don't know what to feel anymore.
What matters is I don't want to marry you. And you didn't either.
I still do for some reason. And you're saying this because you magicked me? Talk about taking fate in your own hands.
I did take fate into my own hands, and I regret it. I should have just let the cards play, because maybe you would have just let me go.
I certainly would have. Except I haven't actually found anyone else. That's the issue with all of this, Marguerite. I don't have anyone else. You're occupying a space in my heart that I can't give to anyone else now.
Frick.
Cavior's like in the
Fix
background,
it!
just like walking around and grabbing different things and putting stuff together. And he's like,
right.
I figured that.
this and of course, and then do we have any more of that cheese?
You.
Yes, we do.
You're the fortune teller. Wait, what is going on? You've been working together the entire time? This has all been a trick?
Well, yes, but no.
Long story short, she came into.
You know what? I don't even know why I care to explain this to you. I don't care.
Well,
trick.
You made me in love with you. I suppose you kind of owe me a little bit, at least.
I don't owe you anything.
I don't think that's true. By the strict definition of owing, I don't think that's true.
You can literally just not love me. Just don't love me. You know all the facts.
I can't. Like, I literally want to stop loving you right now, and I am physically unable to.
And that makes me want to throw up. Just hearing that.
Sorry.
And then, as you two are going at it, he like plucks an eyelash from the king and then snips another piece of hair from
Stop touching my precious hair.
And then he like stuffs the hair in a piece of cheese, and then he puts the eyelash in a potion, and like.
Well, wait. Do you put it in a potion, or do you do incense this time?
Incense takes longer. That's the problem.
Classic.
I think he just shakes his head like, this would have all been fine if they used the incense.
Yeah. I just wanted the running gag to hit the 3 times. Yeah.
He's like, hey, can't do it since we didn't start with it.
I think he's like, I need to. He's like, note to self, light incense before guests arrive. And he like shoves a piece of cheese into Edward's mouth, and then shoves the drink into Marguerite's mouth.
This cheese is.
This potion tastes like mud water.
Is better than mud water, only barely. But mud water, not so bad. Now, cheese, last piece of cheese was a little moldier than should be. But you should be fine. Now, I say fine. Both of you, give it a little bit, and yep.
What did you do?
What did you do, Jordan?
Yeah, that is the question.
Yeah.
So the effect here is that you will go back to naturally experiencing each other how you would experience each other after all this has transpired.
Right. So that's the trick.
Okay.
Right?
So that's the thing, right?
Have we grown? This is the question, Alyssa. Have we grown closer through all of this?
I don't know. She's just like, oh, Edward, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
I'm sorry. The love potion was my mom's idea, and I just.
This whole engagement was my mom's idea. We should have just talked about it ourselves and figured it out.
I was just trying to be polite, and I just thought that if you really.
And I'm like taking a step forward, like trying to reassure you, like, no, it's fine. It's all my fault.
Oh, it's my fault. I
like grab your hand.
Yes, it is definitely not fault. He's like just saying to himself, definitely not fault of friendly apothecary magician fortune teller. I'm the strange guy in woods. You come to my house and you are now having good time. And everybody is in good mood. And I am not making sign that says on vacation.
Yeah, so we're ignoring all this muttering that you're doing, and I grab your hand and I'm like, it is ultimately my fault. I've been horrible. I've given you horrible hospitality, and I think I had some growing up to do, and all of this has certainly helped me in that direction. I need to stop letting my mother boss me around and be the king that I know I need to be. The question is, The only thing left, Marguerite, is a queen.
So
And I
friends?
know-
No, I'm just kidding.
See a spiritual arrow go through his heart.
I'm just kidding. I just want to do that for comedic effect. Keep going, sorry.
I can't. She's like, I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah. I know. After everything we've been through, it's absurd of me to ask it or even to think it. But now, standing here, after all we've been through, I can't help but feel. And he just leaves it hanging. And if this is the moment where like a pawn shows up and tries to kill us or something, that could also happen.
No,
right?
I have a different plan for how the next scene is going to open.
Okay,
and
I think she like slowly nods and she just says, in some ways, maybe your mom was right. Maybe we just need to start
we could learn to love.
Maybe.
At the very least, I certainly respect you now. Admire
Same.
you. Well, then tomorrow, or then let's get back to the castle. And tonight, the Yuletide ball, when we announce to the kingdom that we're betrothed, it'll be you and I announcing it, not our parents.
Okay.
And then I turn to you and I say, also, you're under arrest. Like, there's definitely no way. Yeah, there's definitely no way this is legal in my country.
And then he goes, number one, you don't know your boundaries very well. This is not your country.
I'm pretty sure that it is. You may not have been in your country when she found you, but like it literally transported like in my boundaries. Like quite literally was just in front of me.
Are we on east side of the river or west side of the river?
West.
Oh, that is not good.
Yeah, not good. And then
But I just want to do one service to you.
And what would that be?
Do you have any servants who may have fed your wife-to-be any sandwiches lately?
That is an oddly specific question.
He's
but
asking
yes.
because that's why I started hating you.
Are you saying the pawn has been behind this the entire time?
Let me tell you a brief conversation. A man comes in and he tells me, I need to protect friend. Protect friend, I hear. I hear protect friend and I'm like, okay, he's not bad guy. He's trying to make sure friend does not go off and do crazy thing. So I think, yes, why not? Asks me for cheese. This cheese make you dead emotionally. To romance and such. And I think nothing more of it. Did not say that friend was king. And he still hasn't paid me.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, a pawn really does care about his friends. This is probably all just a big misunderstanding. Listen, Cafior, I think you still need to come back to the castle with me. We can get this all sorted out, and maybe I'll even hire you as my court magician when this is all over. But you can't be off in the woods here by yourself, giving just anyone a love potion or a hatred cheese or whatever else it was.
Hate
Well, not in your country, I guess.
Cheese. We could never hate cheese.
Never, no. As a
Cheese-
Wisconsinite
that's
and
the
a
thing.
Californian, we could never hate cheese,
cheese.
Alyssa.
See, that's the thing. Cheese is the great swayer. Cheese moves your emotions.
I was waiting for the
cheese
pun in that somewhere.
No.
but-
So was I.
There's no
Mhm.
pun. Cheese
Yep.
is great.
You know what?
okay?
That is true. There's no joking around with cheese. Cheese is serious business.
Serious business. That's really why you should be arrested. You're using cheese to to
Where'd you
make
get this
people's
cheese? My
emotions-
cows?
Using cheese for the forces of evil.
Yeah.
I actually thought that I got the cheese from Alyssa's Kingdom. She said that would make her the
Yeah,
Dairy
yeah.
Queen.
Boo!
Boo.
Yay, Dairy Queen!
Love it.
But yeah, so what do you say to my you need to come back with us to get this sorted out?
He just shrugs and goes, nothing better to do. Besides, until I can figure out how to move house back to house.
All right. Well then, we ride.
And
Let's
see.
Oh yeah, no, you get to end the scene, right?
And I think that was neutral. I guess it has to be just neutral. Like that's as
Right.
close as we're gonna get. But I think that makes sense because I did indeed find out that this wizard was behind everything, and that my servant, even though I denied it, that my servant is probably against me, and we have to sort all this out. There's still conflicts to arise, but there was also good parts to it as well. All right. Well, I only got the one black die. That's good.
Okay, I'm going to establish, and this is going to be a short scene.
All right. Sounds good.
But I think this is the scene that makes the most sense. So the scene is upon talking to both of your mothers about what has happened and what has transpired over the past few days since their arrival. So
whose cast is my mom since you're going to be playing a pawn? I suppose you could talk to yourself, but
we don't I guess
He's used to puppetry. He'll be fine.
I was gonna say I think we could probably just have it so it's just Jordan playing your mom, and it would probably make just as much sense.
Darling,
so Jordan's playing both of the moms.
I can do Adeline's voice.
No, I'm
I
saying
can do Buzzy Adeline.
as in
That's my pompous voice.
Just
saying-
playing your Caleb's
it
mom,
would
and
make
that's
sense. Yeah, I think it would make sense if just Kate,
It's just talking to one of the moms.
yeah, just to,
Okay.
and so he's coming talking to Queen Mother Anastasia.
Yes, darling. What could it be?
Well, it seems we have bad news for tonight.
Oh,
Princess
dear.
Marguerite has run away and has not been seen since yesterday morning.
Oh my! We must send out a search party immediately.
I've sent our people out already, but they haven't found any sign of her. It's mysterious how she's just gone away. And the thing is, too, it seems all of the eligible ladies have just decided not to come tonight. Something seemed to send them away. I'm not sure what it could have been.
That is oddly specific and very peculiar.
I agree. And it's seeming like your son just seems to scare them all off. It's looking like he'll never be king truly with an heir.
Well, we can make arrangements.
And that's when we show up and we're like, we're good. We found her.
Oh, I'm curious what the arrangements were real quick. Wait.
There are other kingdoms.
Yes, but they've all turned down your offers. Well, no, specifically the kings turned down theirs.
I
Whatever
have
we-
contingency plans.
Please do tell. I'm curious.
And that's probably when
Oh, I wanted to hear the contingency plans. Okay.
We walk in with my arm around
Oh,
your arm, and I'm like,
Princess Margaret, you've been found.
you've returned to us.
Mother, we have something we want to tell you.
yes, we
Yes.
want to get engaged and married.
But this time for reasons of our own. and not your meddling.
Wonderful. This is great.
Works for me either way. Mother's always right.
I
I will
assume
go
Cafior is here
inform-
too. I assume Cafior is here too, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
probably. He's like right behind us.
What were you
Your
saying, Seth?
Highness.
Like, oh, wonderful. That's great. I'll go inform the caterers right now.
Actually, I had a question for you. This magician here, Cafior, informs me that you came to him looking for cheese. And not just any kind of cheese, not even the good kind of cheese. The sort of cheese that one would die for. This is the sort of cheese that one kills with. It's not poison necessarily, but kills emotions is what I'm trying to say. You were trying to make it so that this marriage never happened. I want to know why.
I left the oven on. I'll be right back.
My spinach puffs.
No.
I say,
can't do that voice.
Cafior, it is time to prove your worth. Stop him in his tracks. Do magic or something.
We don't have guards with us.
Sure, I mean, there's guards too, but like...
They're all off searching for
Yeah.
Princess
Upon
Margaret.
has been... Yeah, there you go.
This was a coup.
Mhm.
He just goes, "What am I, conjurer of cheap tricks?" And then he's like,
No, I'll pay you handsomely for them. You'll never go hungry again. This is the most expensive trick you'll ever do.
Then he's like, "Works for me," and he pulls. Okay, I'm trying.
He's like, I'm finally getting paid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if Cafior has a whip.
Okay.
What?
Like just
I know
under
it
his
would be a
robe, and there's
vine. It would be a vine because that's
oh,
organic.
yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, I think he pulls out. I think from under his rope he pulls out just this thorny vine, and tries to wrap it around.
From where you pull out a thorny vine? Your pouch, you said?
Well, it's like under my robes.
Right,
No,
that's what I thought you said.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
yep, that's
I
fine.
have like a long robe.
Mhm. That's fine.
You don't keep thorny branches in your robes.
Typically not.
Well,
And you thought the back.
I'm the weird one.
You thought the tag on your pants like rub against you. That hurt.
No,
The thing magicians do for art.
well, it's like a belt.
Very thorny belt.
Yes.
It's a thorn in my side.
Nice.
Go check out Seth's YouTube channel.
Please, no one watches my videos.
Oh.
Anyway,
So he, I guess he pulls out this whip and tries to catch Apon's ankle with it.
Well, Seth's established. We get to resolve.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
there's
know.
only bad dice, so I think he goes down, right?
Yep.
Well,
there's a reason I wanted to.
Honestly, I think he like whips a couple of times. And he's like, "Okay, this isn't working." He just like tosses it aside, catches up with him, and just like, just like tackles him.
Okay. I expected a lot more fire and light and stuff, but that works, I guess.
And
I can
honestly-
hire you as our professional wrestler.
Cafior just goes, "I don't cast magic. I create magical items out of their natural magical components."
You mentioned incense earlier. Now might be the time to use the incense. Put him to sleep or something.
He just like sits there for a second. He's like, "Oh," and he just pulls out this incense, and there's like, no, I'm not gonna make that joke. He lights this incense, kind of just sticks it under his nose or sticks it under Apon's nose, and he's just like, "Hands away! I recommend not breathing in this general area. I'd stay a good 10 feet back."
Noted.
Alright,
We back up.
I gave myself the 2 black die already,
Very good.
and I knew that's how it would end. There was no other
Yeah.
way for this to end.
Yeah. Cool. Jordan, what's our last scene?
Would you like to resolve or establish?
Before epilogue, right? There's still epilogue rolls to be made, so
Right.
I'm assuming probably Yuletide. football?
Probably. I mean, I'll let you guys establish.
Okay.
But it needs to be about Jordan.
Yeah, it would be about Jordan. Well, then it's probably about Cafior revealing or someone figuring out that Cafior is the long lost son, right?
Yeah, maybe Seth can play the mother again, my mother again, and maybe
Cafior got cleaned up because he's been so dirty because of all the
there you go.
I ordered him to bathe.
He's like, you cannot be here covered in filth. He's like, it's not filth, it is natural.
Air is natural too, and that's all I want between your skin and nothing between the air and your skin. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I guess we're just like giving the announcement, and the announcement is important because we already know that's going to happen. But we just see maybe like the mother, played by Seth, like looking at Cafior and being like, "What?"
She walks up to Cafior and says, "You, darling, who are you?"
They call me Cafior the Great.
But who are you?
Mother, he's the one who made us the potion.
In a roundabout way, he's the reason all of this is happening.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know about me being the reason. You two did wonderful things on your own.
But still, I need the answer to the question. Who are you?
Well, I suppose he
I'm
feels like
asking him.
Mother, don't be rude.
I am not being rude.
all I was going to say is to me, he feels like a brother. You know? After everything that's happened.
Yes, to me, he feels like something more. Who are you, stranger?
Mom?
She's not married. Right.
He,
Still a little weird, but like
not anymore, no.
still a little weird though.
Oh, very weird, yes.
Aren't they like 20, 30 years difference in age?
Yeah, they are.
are you asking for the my country of origin? I
Anything, everything.
grew up.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to listen to this conversation anymore.
I think we just like maybe walk away. Yeah,
I want to go dance.
of course.
If you insist, they grew up on. You said it was the west side that we teleported to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grew up in the west side.
So east side of the river would be her country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I grew up on east side of the river. Was taken in by a very powerful wizard, and he showed me a couple of things. I don't remember much where I came from before that. Never knew my mother, father. So I don't really know where I'm from. All I know, west side, east side river, home place. This is where I grew up.
And how long ago would you say that was that you were taken in by the wizard?
Well, I only remember him, so I think I was maybe infant.
How long ago was that? I need answers.
He pulls out an abacus out of his robe. He's like, carried it to about 24 years ago, I suppose. Maybe
Okay.
give
And
or
I think-
take 3 to 5 years.
And I think you just see like she's been very stern this entire like week or so they've been here, and you just see all that just like soften as like a tear falls from her eye. She says, and she just kind of like just sits there silently for a second, like, "You are the spitting image of your father, my son."
Is that where we just like end the scene?
It's like
Because then we can just make epilogue rolls and see how it shakes out.
I was gonna give him an actual like, but you're not Cafior. Oh wait, no, it's Marguerite, and you are my Miguel. I thought I'd never see you again, and he just cries and gives you a big hug.
He's just like, Mummy?
Okay, that's a good ending point.
yeah. There you go.
And let's go 2 white dice.
We can't. It's just 2 black dice.
But it's the last one.
oh, right. There's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very good. There you go. Caviar, you get 2 whites. Here, we'll just copy paste. I think that's probably how we ended up with the dice we got at the end is because they're wild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure to pay attention to that next time. Cool. All right. Now it's time to roll.
Man, I am going to roll terribly. This is not going to go good for me.
I
I might actually end up doing okay for myself. We'll see.
At the very least, Apon might get his revenge, right?
Oh,
Oof, nice. Almost the best roll I
Oh
could
wow.
possibly have
Yeah,
gotten.
that is oh my gosh.
White 14.
someone's living happily ever after.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I am not.
Oh,
I
no.
am. I am not either, to be
10,
fair.
so I got a +2.
Oh,
I got a-
boy.
No,
I
that's
got a-
not good.
I got a black 4. No, black 3. Wait, no, 4.
You roll yours, Jordan. Yeah.
I'm not. 22.
Sometimes it can be tricky. I would just like individually select them.
They're moving. They're changing from what I'm seeing.
Oh, it's just not doing it in the.
No.
No, yeah, I would like hold down shift and click on each of them individually and then
Okay.
right click and do the multi-side. Sometimes when you try to drag it, like selecting other things. All right, just very good so
7, 10, and
I mean, I think 10's already like maxed, isn't it?
15.
Frick.
wow.
This is the highest we've ever
From, like,
gotten. in
14.
a
I feel like this
Fiasco.
might be the happiest ever after like some of us have ever had.
far. Mm-hmm.
How fitting for a Disney
For a Disney.
ending.
Yeah.
At least one of my characters gets a happy ending, even if they're not an actual character.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, but oh!
what?
The right heir has been found.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
my gosh, that's so funny.
Oh yeah,
That's amazing.
Bad for Alyssa.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay. So
But it's off, and then it becomes a Romeo and Juliet thing.
let's go. Let's start with Caviar.
What?
So you got white 13 plus. Fan-frickin-tastic. It's fat times ahead, safe and secure. That thing that would make your life better. Oh, you got it absolutely, and then some, and then some more. Enjoy it. And then let's see. I also got white 13 plus, so same thing for me. What did you get, Seth?
I got a black 4.
Savage. Savage is in something is broken or mashed. Maybe you've gotten a permanent limp and a bad reputation. Plus, you totally fail. Not as bad as
Yeah.
it could be, though.
I mean,
Yeah. And then you got a white 2, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Merciless. You might not be dead on the outside, but you sure as heck are dead on the inside. The emotional or mental wounds you have suffered will never heal. The future is a brick wall.
Oh no.
here's my thought of how this was
What are your
going.
thoughts, Seth?
The whole reason that they were trying to, because I was actually going to thinking of having a scene with this. The whole reason they were planning on marrying off Marguerite was that they didn't have an heir, obviously. So they needed to
Political clout, or
they
get
need to marry
connections
her
with the
off to
family.
kind of get stuff in. As soon as Caviar or Miguel is found, she isn't needed anymore. She's like, oh yeah, we'll just marry you off, but you're not getting like all of the prestige and everything of it because you're being overshadowed by your older brother who is now back.
Well, I'm curious if she even gets married to me then, because
I'm wondering
Well,
if
'cause you
you
have
find
the-
true love somewhere else, right?
Right.
And then like I'm wondering if you like almost like my mother just like, oh, we found your long lost brother. Well, we can
Calling
just
it
build
all
up our kingdom. We're calling it off,
True,
and then
yeah.
I like get taken away, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
I actually like kind of liked him, and you move on.
I think that makes the most sense.
Mhm.
And then Caviar obviously gets to be like the prince, right? And like will eventually rule the kingdom one day. But
And then
then
Apon's
the
just
question
in
would be
prison.
Apon, yeah, the Pon's just in prison.
Caviar and King Edward just become best friends.
Yeah, there we go. Like,
That's
the kings of
ruling
different
king.
kingdoms. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we just become best buddies.
Yeah.
You're friends with my
Caviar-
ex. Like I hate you.
And Caviar like turns turns the kingdom into a kingdom of magicians and
Of
apothecaries.
magicians,
and
yeah,
such,
of course, yeah. That's very wholesome, very wholesome.
And every once in a
I-
while, you go back to your little tree hut, back to when things were simple.
And he's like devised a magic nail that he just like drills like smacks into one of the roots. So every time he sneezes, it just stays put. It's like nailing down a tent.
Yeah.
He
I like the
says,
idea.
"No visitors."
I think it makes sense though that like, Marguerite we could not get married and I would still have the happy ending, because for me it was always just about finding a good fit for me. And so all I need to do is just there's some other noble woman or
who just happened to be there that night.
there we go. That night I meet someone like I'm distraught because you just get taken away, and then like someone comes and comforts me, some noble lady or whatever. The one person who refused to like be pushed away. This is the thing. Upon was like doing this like reverse, like don't get, but someone saw through it and like wanted to see me anyway, right? And that's the woman who knew that she was meant to be mine, and I know now that I'm meant to be hers. There you go. Perfect.
I like how I was able to make that so like Upon was intentionally being creepy so people wouldn't come.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, congratulations. This was what the fiasco I wanted. You all get your happy endings.
I
Very
didn't. Upon got the ending he deserved, so I'm kind of okay with it.
I would say no. I think you're satisfied with yours.
I'd like to think that someday, eventually, Marguerite gets to be married to, or maybe she just gets sent to a nunnery. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
That would truly be the worst thing of them all.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that is what happens.
Yeah, that's probably actually what happens.
Oh no.
We don't need you anymore. Go into the clergy, or into the nunnery. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Cafior wouldn't necessarily like.
That's true. The Cafior would want to take care of you, but like I feel like by the time you get control of the kingdom, it's just too late to at least give her the happy ending she really wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm probably still like a little bitter.
Yeah.
I was like, I was the one who wanted to find you, and this is what happens.
And now you won't be satisfied with anyone else.
No.
Marguerite will never be satisfied.
She'll never be satisfied. She'll never be satisfied.
There you go. We did sing something that was on Disney Plus. By the end.
Go ahead, Disney, sue us.
I like how this was the fairy tale ending, then right at the end, nah.
Yeah. It's Fiasco. You got to subvert it somehow.
Yeah.
This is like such a subversion. Like, Seth's character didn't die. Alyssa's character didn't get a happy ending. My character did get a happy ending.
The best ending.
Yeah, the best ending was, Yep.
This is
like
the opposite of the end of Terra Nullius.
Yeah.
Terra Nullius did have a very happy ending overall.
That's true. That's my Fiasco. That was a lot of fun. But we're out of time. And the game's over, so.
Yep, we're out of dice.
We are out of dice, yeah. There you go. We'll figure out what we're doing next week. We still have no idea what the schedule is ahead. It'll really depend on what Emily's job situation looks like, which we don't know yet. So, but for now, for the foreseeable future, we could at least play some Legacy or some one-shots or whatever else we want to do. But yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed myself. It's nice to do a little bit of improv comedy and just laugh a little bit. My favorite thing about Fiasco is just the running gags, and I was so satisfied with how the running gags got brought to completion by the end of the story. So that's all I want. All right. We're out.
And remember, a broken clock might be right twice a day, but it's still a broken clock and you need to change the batteries.
There you go.
And be careful who's cutting your cheese.
And on that note, have a good night.
You can cut your friends and you can cut your cheese, but don't ever cut your friend's cheese.